evening to you. You're watching the weekend edition of Primetime News, and we are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studio with nothing but the news that matters. Let's start off with a look at the headlines. Dr. Indrajit Coomaraswamy appointed Governor of the Central Bank by the President. It is necessary to solve issues and move forward when working as a government, a statement from the President. Chairman of CORP says that investigations will continue over the conduct of the former Governor of the Central Bank.
රටට පාඩු කරපු සියලු මුදල් නැවත අය කරගෙන නීත්‍යානුකූලව එයාට දෙන්න පුළුවන් දඬුවම් දෙනතුරු මේ පරීක්ෂණය දිගට කරනවා.
News First, Think Again Public Service Initiative finale held following rallies at 4 locations, massive public participation at the rallies. The Dhaka cafe siege claims the lives of 22 Sri Lankan nationals who were held hostage, deemed safe. Aspiring law students need to be honest in their dealings with the court, and advice from the Attorney General. On to your top story now. President Maithripala Sirisena has decided to appoint Dr. Indrajit Coomaraswamy as a new governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka.
A communique issued by the President's media division states that the decision was taken following discussions held between the President and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. As a result, Dr. Indrajit Coomaraswamy will be appointed as the new governor of the Central Bank next Monday. Meanwhile, a meeting between Dr. Indrajit Coomaraswamy and President Maithripala Sirisena took place this evening at the President's house.
Born on the 3rd of April 1950, Dr. Indrajit Coomaraswamy received his primary education at Royal College, Colombo. He obtained his undergraduate degree from Cambridge University and obtained his doctorate from the University of Sussex. Dr. Coomaraswamy served at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka from the year 1973 to 1989, where he worked in the Economic Research, Statistics and Bank Supervision Division of the bank. While Dr. Coomaraswamy served at the Ministry of Finance and Planning from 1981 to 1989, he was also employed by the Commonwealth Secretariat from 1990 to 2008. During the time he held the positions inter alia of Director, Economic Affairs Division and Deputy Director, Secretary General's Office. He was subsequently Interim Director, Social Transformation Program Division, Commonwealth Secretariat, a post he held from January to July 2010. Prior to being appointed as the Governor of the Central Bank, Coomaraswamy served on the Board of Directors of one of Sri Lanka's top blue-chip conglomerates. Dr. Coomaraswamy is widely accepted as a reputed economist, serving as the Deputy Chairman of the Pathfinder Foundation. Not only academically, Dr. Indrajit Coomaraswamy also excelled in the field of sports, representing Cambridge University in rugby. He also captained the rugby team that represented Sri Lanka at the 1974 Asian Games. In addition, he played first-class cricket from Cambridge University in the years 1971 and 1972.
Speaking on the International Cooperative Day, President Maithripala Sirisena said that it is necessary to solve issues and move forward when working as a government.
The 94th International Cooperative Day was held at the Nelumpokona under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. The President expressed his views on the appointment of the new Governor of the Central Bank.
ආර්ථිකය පිළිබඳව ප්‍රධාන වටිනාකමක් තිබෙන මහ බැංකුවේ
There have been various discussions on the appointment of a new central bank governor within the past few days. Among the views expressed regarding the new governor, I saw in a newspaper that a former minister had said that the president is submissive to the prime minister. I have to say to him that during the period of our great kings, the ministers who spoke then were hiding near the benches outside the temple trees. While they were kissing their leaders' feet, may I remind you that I was the one who put an end to his foul and illicit acts. Now they are creating a force in the Badulla district. The person who is taking the leadership of that force is the person I am thankful for making me president. On one side there is an economic dispute, and on the other side there is a political dispute. It is vital to face and solve issues that rise against us and to move forward together when working as a government.
An award ceremony was held for students who took part in art, essay and drama competitions held in line with the International Cooperative Day.
Now on to a story that made it to the headlines. Speaking at an event held in Mathura yesterday, JVP MP Sunil Handunethi expressed views regarding the former governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Arjuna Mahindran.
This is an investigation that will decide whether or not corrupt brokers will be allowed to swindle money off the public, the central bank and the Employees Provident Fund for the next 30 years. The report, which was compiled by the Auditor General, has been handed over to the Speaker for the first time. The report compiled consists of 1,250 pages. Everyone thought it will end with the Auditor General, but no, justice should be meted out to the taxpayers. Can we let them benefit themselves by increasing and decreasing interest rates and also doing their little gimmicks in the computers? We can't let those who use their influence and position and who connive to swindle the money of the innocent people. We would like to clearly state that the investigation will only conclude when the people who swindled all the money pay them back to the people and until legal action is taken against them. We need to create an environment where such people who put the country in such a damaging situation will not go scot-free and such fraud will not be entertained. An environment should also be created where no room will be given for such fraud to be committed. This will only stop once constitutional and legal measures are taken with regard to this.
Handunethi expressed these views at a rally held in Yatiana, Mathura.
Director General of Government Information Dr. Ranga Kalansurya says that the media release issued yesterday under the letterhead of the Government Information Department stating that President Maithripala Sirisena will appoint the new governor of the central bank based on the recommendations of the Minister of Finance and after holding discussions with the Prime Minister is false. Meanwhile, a media release issued bearing the signature of the Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media, Nimal Bopage, states that such a media release was not issued by the Government Information Department or the Ministry of Mass Media or by the government.
The controversial statement issued to the media last evening states that when appointing a new governor to the central bank, the recommendations of the finance minister is needed. And since the minister is currently overseas on official business, the new governor would be appointed based on the recommendations made by the finance minister upon his return to the island. The media release issued yesterday states that the government rejects the propaganda carried out by certain factions claiming that the actions of the central bank governor have led to conflicts in the marketplace and a crash in the financial sector. However, a subsequent media release bearing the signature of the Secretary to the Ministry of Parliamentary Reforms and Mass Media, Nimal Bopage, and another media release bearing the signature of the Director General of Government Information, Dr. Ranga Kalansurya, states that the media release issued last evening is false. The Director General of the Government Information Department pointed out that investigations have already commenced with regard to the issuance of the false media release.
Public representatives are appointed by the people to represent them and to ensure that the problems that are at hand are resolved. The powers that are exercised by politicians are that of the people. The public is now showing their frustration as the transferred powers are being misused and violated. The grand finale of the Newsfirst Think Again campaign, a 15-day public service initiative, was held today at 4 separate locations across the island.
The final phase of the Think Again campaign, which covered every nook and cranny of the country for the past 15 days, was held in the southern, central, north central and eastern provinces this evening. The 4 massive rallies commenced simultaneously at 4 p.m. today. The Central Province rally was held near the Kalu Bridge in Laggala in the Marthale district. The people of the district of Marthale marched to the Kalu Bridge from the Pallegama town holding placards. A number of others also joined the march prior to the rally. Meanwhile, a number of traditional performances were also featured during the rally. The rally, which was held in order to reach out to the people of the southern province, was held at the Borala river bank in Valigama in the district of Mathura. The people showed their opposition with a show of placards and marched to the Borala river bank in order to join the rally. This event, marking the utmost significance of this public service initiative, which reached out to the people by travelling to every corner of the island for the past 15 days, was held at the Undachimadam Sri Muttumari Amman Kovil in Kalavanchikudi in the Batticaloa district. People rallied at the Kovil premises following a march which was held from the Batticaloa main road. The people of the North Central Province flooded the Kusumpura river bank in Nochiagama to join the rally, which was held in order to create a platform for the people to show their grievances and concerns. The people of the North Central Province too marched to the Kusumpura river bank holding placards. We as citizens of this country, the villages and the towns, let us start to think. Let us come to a conclusion through this Think Again campaign to convey to the leaders of this country on how to change the system. We will join hands with Sirasa to fight our way to bring the executive powers to the feet of the people of this country. I'd like to thank Sirasa once again for initiating such a campaign. This is what the 15-day campaign brought to the attention of the people. The public initiative, which centered on the theme Revolutionizing Leadership, shone a spotlight over the people who are deprived through the 4 rallies which were conducted in 4 districts this evening. The Newsfirst Think Again campaign was launched on the 18th of last month. This massive public service initiative commenced in the districts of Kandy, Puttalam and Jaffna amidst rave reviews received from the citizenry. As a media network, we took a further step in public service. We are now in possession of a trove of public reviews which were expressed to us all across the country. This objective is being met in order to bring a number of new representatives to the forefront.
On to another one of our headline-making stories. Speaking at an event held today, the Attorney General advised aspiring law students that they need to be honest in their dealings with the court.
This is a situation where we take upon the difficulties, problems and issues of the others. So be sensitive. What we need is we are dealing with human beings. Our responsibility within the framework provided to us, bring in the relief that they are seeking to the best of our ability. In doing so, we have obligations. You have a duty towards court. You go there and you need to adhere to certain parameters, certain traditions, certain rules. You need to be frank to court. You can't lie to court.
We have a beautiful country. We had a beautiful legal system. At one time, our lawyers used to practice in Singapore, Malaysia, and the lawyers there were scared of our lawyers. They were afraid of us. Today, you look at where we are. That is why I find, so what is important is our ability. This is where politics has taken us. We say as lawyers, it's one of the most noble professions. Let's keep it noble. We have so many things we can do. We can practice as lawyers. We can go to the corporate sector. We can join the group of Honorable Jayanta Jayasuriya in the Attorney General's Department. We can become judges. And they say, if you can't do anything else, do politics. So, that's why we are in this pathetic state, perhaps. So,
The opening ceremony of the National Law Students Conference 2016, which is the first ever conference for law students to be held on a national scale under the theme Building Professionals, Creating Connections, took place this morning at the auditorium of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka.
Public health inspectors initiated legal action today against a leading girls' school in Colombo for creating an environment conducive for the breeding of dengue mosquitoes. The epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health says that 35 people have died this year after contracting dengue.
20,954 people were suspected to have contracted dengue thus far this year. Majority of dengue patients were recorded in the western, central and northwestern provinces. A dengue eradication program was conducted in the Nugegoda, Kalubowila and Kohwala areas today. The program was held in coordination with the Dehewala Mount Lavinia Municipal Council, the Air Force, the police and the Divisional Secretariat. The officers who identified a number of dengue breeding grounds during the program took legal measures against the perpetrators. The health officers noted that legal measures will be taken against a famous girls' school in Nugegoda on charges of facilitating dengue breeding grounds in the school premises.
The dengue epidemic is rapidly spreading in areas in and around Colombo. We have identified the negligence of the residents as the sole reason for the spread of dengue. This is not an inspection program carried out to create awareness, but an inspection program to trace the negligence of the people. If there are any reports of any of the citizens facilitating dengue breeding grounds, then they will be arrested and will be bailed out on police bail, following which they will be produced before court.
Police සැපයක් මත මුදා හැරලා අනතුරුව ඔවුන් අධිකරණයට ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා.
We have been focusing our attention on places of worship and schools. We will take adequate legal measures against them after producing them in court within the day today.
The annual feast of the Madhu Shrine in Mana was held today.
The Holy Eucharist service was celebrated today by Bishop Emeritus of Trincomalee, Right Reverend Kingsley Swami Pillai. Bishop of Jaffna, Right Reverend Justin Bernard Yana Prakasam, and Bishop of Chilau, Right Reverend Valence Mendes too participated in the celebration. Thousands of faithfuls from across the country journeyed to the Mother Shrine in Mana to participate in the annual feast.
But there you go, that's a wrap of Primetime News. Remember, to stay ahead, you need to stay close to News First. For that, you simply need to log on to our website, www.newsfirst.lk. If you want to keep a closer tab of all the stories followed here at News First, you can follow our Twitter handle at newsfirst_en. I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Good night and take care.
Hotline 0114 896 896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.